Hi, this is Coach Sean, the Realtor, going above and beyond to help you find your next home. Um, I'm excited to be on here tonight. I want to talk about a subject that I think is really important. And while we're moving into this, if some of my videos are helping you, I ask that you please like this video. Also, like my Facebook page, or if you're on YouTube, follow and subscribe to my videos. I want to provide some content that'll help you in your journey of buying your next home. We recognize and we've heard the saying that knowledge is power. And while I do agree to that, I believe that's not incorrect. It's just incomplete. Knowledge is power, but knowledge is also potential because you can have knowledge and not fulfill the potential of what that knowledge can do for you. So knowledge is the information, but to really fulfill the potential, you're going to have the application. So I want to deal tonight about building my credit in order to get a home. I talk to a lot of individuals, and for whatever reason, some of us have hit some hard times. We're in COVID. Some people have lost jobs. My thoughts and prayers are with them. Some people, we've made some past mistakes. I can raise my hand to that, but thankfully was able to get back and get my credit together. I want to talk about some things about credit because in order actually to buy a home for those who are out there first-time home buyers, what you're going to have is a pre-approval letter, which means you go through your lender, and I'll do a video on that too about that process. But when you go through your lender, in order for you to put a bid on a home, you have to have a pre-approval letter. And most times, 99% of the time, to even go look at homes, you really need to have a pre-approval letter because you don't have a gauge of what you're going to actually go and look for. It gives you that gauge. So we'll loan you $100,000. So you know you're not going to go looking for homes at $150,000 if you are only going to get a loan for $100,000. So you're going to need that. And so I wanted to look at credit. Somebody gave an analogy of credit that makes things made it a little simpler for me. They said they were teaching it to some high school students, and their credit is like your college transcripts. When you're looking to go to college, when you send those transcripts, if you have a 4.0, you get more opportunities. At a 2.0, not as many. Although I had, in the twos, and I was able to graduate, not cum laude, but thank you, laude. But it's how your credit is determined. You get more opportunities when your credit score is higher. So here's how your credit score is determined. And this is like your syllabus of how much of your grade is determined by your credit score. Your payment history counts for 35%. The amount owed counts for 30%. The length of your credit counts for 15%. New credit counts for 10%, and just mixed credit actually counts for also 10%. I want to put this plug out there too for those who might be in the midst of it and you're right on the edge, because right now to buy a home you need to have a 580, but a 640. A 580 will get you in the door, but a 640 will give you down payment assistance. But a lot of times you're on that edge of it. And if you're working with a lender, here's a tip: ask them to do what's called a rapid rescore. Sometimes that can boost your score up, and they have measures of doing that. Lenders can give you better information on there, but that's just what I want to give you. So you have to know your credit score. Get a copy of it. Every year you should get a copy of your credit score. There are some places where you can get a free copy of it. One of them was maybe one of the better ones to get it. I believe it's called annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. Recognize that there are three different, I guess, areas or bureaus where your credit is going to be looked at. There's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Most lenders are going to look at the middle score to determine your credit score. So you can have a 640 at one, a 620 at another one, and a 680 at another one. And they'll likely, this is just an example, take the middle score, which is a 640. I was confused at times because I can remember at times I was going to get a car and I looked on creditkarma.com, and it's not always accurate. So you really want to go through the lender. But you want to get all three copies of it. Most of your credit card companies will actually give you your credit report for free if you would ask for them. So I want to go down some of these things. So 35% is looked at from your payment history. You have to pay your bills on time. It says, have you paid as you agreed? Whether it's your mortgage, your rent, your cell phone, your credit cards. The later you are, the more harmful it is on your credit. So you have to make it where you pay on time, and you got to develop a good credit history of paying your bills on time because it accounts for 35% of your credit. Budget. Set a budget. Find someone who can assist you if you haven't set a budget. Automate your payments. Sit down and pay your payments or do something where you pay it 2 times per month, because your payment history accounts for 35% of it. Then you go to the next one, which is the amount owed counts for, watch this, 30%. So watch this. If your credit card is $6,000, you have a $6,000 limit on it, but you have used up $5,000 of it, it means you've borrowed up to your limit. And what it means is that you have high credit utilization, which tells the people who are trying to lend, or you're trying to get to lend to you, said this person cannot live off of what they're currently earning. They're living above their means, so their income cannot support their lifestyle. So we're less likely to try to give them money to assist them to lend, because we don't believe we might be able to get it back. Here's the thing you want to make sure you're looking at. A lot of times for your credit to be good with credit cards or credit utilization, they want to make sure you've only used about 30% of it. So if you have and I'm just giving ballpark figures in my head, if you owe $6,000, roughly 33% is about $2,000. So less than $2,000 would kind of assist you in keeping it. Ideally, you want to keep it at 10%. Here's some of the things that I see that are hurting us, and some of them we can't control. Large car loans. It's messing with your debt to income ratio, which I want to do a video on how you calculate that, because that's how they calculate how much money they're going to lend you. It's messing with your debt to income ratio and brings it down, because we have large car. You do know when you buy that car actually depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. And so you want to make sure a lender can learn to you. Next one is length of your credit history. It accounts for about 15%. How long have you had this credit card? Even if you pay off your debt, hear me. Even if you pay it off and you have a zero balance, you want to make sure you don't close it, because once you close it, you're taking away that length, and and that length is helping your credit score for 15%. And so you could see a drop in what you have in it. New credit counts for 10%. Don't apply for a lot of credit cards, especially at once, but don't apply for a lot of credit cards. Lenders think they must not have enough money, so that's why they're applying for it, even though that may not be the case. Open up a card and pay it regularly. Credit mix is the last thing. 10% is the credit mix, the different kind of credit that you have, whether it's card payments and whether it's credit card, whether it's cell phone, those different things come up. So here's some things I want you to know. All of us have made some mistakes. I've learned some things in doing my own research. Everything comes off your credit score after 7 years. If there's a negative item that's still on there, you can dispute it with the credit bureau. It's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So you can go and you can dispute it and get it off if it's been on there for that long. I'm going to give you just a couple other things, and then I'll be doing. Make sure the things on your credit score, your credit report, are accurate. That's why it's important that you go and get your credit report, annualcreditreport.com, because statistics say that 70% of credit reports are inaccurate. Now recognize, and I didn't give this information at the beginning, your credit score spans from low credit score. It can be as low as 300, as high as 850. So your credit score spans for that. For a loan, you really, to get that assistance you want, you probably want at least a 640, although you could have more, but 70% of credit reports are inaccurate. So if they say that you owe $350 and you really only owe $400, you can dispute it, and the creditor has 30 days to respond to your dispute. If they don't, they have to remove it. So you want to make sure you have that. A couple other things, ways to build your credit. Get a secured credit card. It means you're paying into the credit card up front, and you're just borrowing back what you paid into it. And when you're doing that, you are actually making your credit better. And you're not necessarily spending money that you don't have, but you're at least having an opportunity to increase your credit score. A good lender can tell you how to work on your credit too. If you need reference to a lender, I can give you information. If you have your own lender that you're comfortable with, you're more than welcome to use them. Um, and so it's other things that we could talk about, but I wanted to give you just some ins and out about credit. One of the things, and this is something that is only if you're comfortable with it, that I would tell you to do is one of the things that can boost your credit is if you become an authorized user on somebody else's credit card. And how that boosts your credit. Sometimes they say it can do it in as little as 30 days where you'll see a boost on your credit. That depends on your and the person who you're asking to do that level of comfortability, if that's a word. So I'm Coach Sean, the Realtor. Just wanted to come and give you a video. Again, like this page, share this, because I believe we really need to get this information out to get our credit up. I want to do some things out there, so start watching my videos. I did a video last week on the 7 biggest mistakes that most first home time buyers make. And so we don't want to make those mistakes. You want to make sure that when you go into your home, you're comfortable and you don't have any regrets. And so one of the things I want to tell you, even in your credit, is start working on it. If you don't start working on it, you'll be in the same place next year. Somebody said procrastination is a thief. It'll steal everything that you're supposed to have from you. Your credit is like your transcripts. The higher your transcripts or your grades were in high school, the more likely you will get more opportunities in college. The higher your credit score is, the more likely you should become, if there's something you're interested in, an investor. You should be able to do things. You should be able to become a homeowner if that's your desire. Call me, 708-828-9648. 708-828-9648. You can go to my website at seanaldridge.exprealty.com. Again, like this page, subscribe. I am honored to be able to assist you, and I just want to get this information out to you. Yes, knowledge is power, but knowledge really is potential. You can get the information, but are you going to have the application? I'm Sean Aldridge, Coach Sean the Realtor. Excited to be here with you again. Thank you for watching. And as always, God bless.